back out to the 750K Dozer that we inspected. So the undercarriage was toast on it. Realistically, everything's worn out, and it should have a new undercarriage. But the customer's always right. Has asked if I could remove a link from each side of the chain, and we had gotten some seal kits to just reseal the track adjusters while we're in there, because I think they've been at the end of their stroke, so the pistons may have even been pushing out a little bit from the barrels for the adjusters. So we're just going to do what we can to make sure that the tracks will adjust. And again, taking a link out is really never a great idea. And it's usually pretty tough to do, in my opinion, from my experiences. So we'll see how today goes. So stay tuned. Good. Again, we're removing one link anyway. Again, that's how they're all the pins are going to be coming out. I really want to say I don't recommend doing it this way. Again, this is a right wore out undercarriage. I told the customer it really does need replacement, and they didn't want to go that route, so here we are. Okay guys, if you see here, there's quite a bit of damage to this piston. This is part of the track adjuster, so the grease would push on this end and push this rod out, and that is what pushes your front idler out and tensions your track. And with damage like this, you know, that could cause the track adjuster to leak, and you know, really not great. I'm gonna let the customer know and see what they want to do. This is the track adjuster there, the barrel for it. As you can see how dirty it is in here. This is where the idler slides in, and we will have to we're going to be resealing that track adjuster, so I'm going to start cleaning out in here. Okay guys, if you can see in there, we got a lip seal right on the outside. There looks like a grease seal, that blue one there, and I believe in between the two we have like a wear band. I'm gonna try to start pulling it apart now. It's gonna be a little tough to film, so okay, here's a look at the seals that go inside. This is the old one, the new one, and the front seal here. There was also some wear bands inside I still gotta change out, but they're a lot easier than changing any of this stuff out. Okay, these are the wear bands I was talking about. It really just gives the piston something to ride on, and you know, not be wearing out the housing of the barrel. There's two of them in there. I'm just gonna change those out now. Okay guys, we got the new seals in, these covers back on. I am just going to finish up with cleaning this up a little bit more, and we'll start installing everything back together. Okay guys, so we're getting a lot closer here. We got the track adjuster resealed. These chains coming back together here. So this is the link we were taking out. You see here, I went a little too crazy with the torch here. So I'm gonna put some weld in there, build it back up, grind it back down flush. The other side is fine. And we're gonna do something similar to this link here. Now, I may end up gouging those pins, I'm not sure. The whole reason
I did that other link because I still have this pin to use if I, do damage this pin. I still have one good pin. And again, I am going to kind of open these links up. We are going to weld them back up is the plan, but I could probably gouge these pins a bit too and just make it that much easier for getting this apart. So let's get into it. Okay guys, so it's on fire right now, but if you look, I hogged out the pin there, and I did cut a little slit up to the link. We'll let it cool down a little bit, whatever. We gotta do the other side as well still. But that should just hammer out no problem now, nice and easy. We'll get that out, we'll get the other side out. Fix the link up, like we said, we gotta put a little bit of weld into it. Grind it down a bit. We have our old pin. I'm gonna kind of grind it down a little bit to make it a little easier to fit through these for this side, and we'll end up welding the pin in. And again, the customer for this machine, their whole goal was to try to get 1,000 hours out of this undercarriage. And again, I don't give any kind of guarantees of this type of work, but I definitely hope it works out for them. So I believe I'm just running out of oxygen. I do have another tank. I don't think we cut through that pin enough, but I'm gonna let it cool down a bit and we will try just hammering out the way it is. So we got some the new oxygen bottle hooked up, and we're just gonna cut that pin a bit more and get it out. No damage to that one either, so that's good. Just gonna fill that up, maybe grind it down a little bit. And we're gonna stick it together. Grind the pin down a bit too.
Okay, so usually if I was going to grind these down and fit a pin in a bit easier, I just do it with the flap wheel that I was, trying to fit there. And I don't have one that's going to fit, so we are going to use carbide and just be real gentle. And again, just the tiniest little bit anyway. Alright, so my phone ended up dying and I'm using my phone to shoot the videos. So luckily I have this guy here, which I can just plug in and I can finish filming, but we did miss a little bit. Basically just missed me putting the new seals in the tracks, closing the tracks up. And I've started the pin, it is somewhat through. I'm going to finish putting it home with the sledgehammer and we are going to weld it. But I just wanted to give a shout out to my wife, Laura. My whole life I never had a lunch bag basically. And that now I do. So how cool is that? Thank you. I just measured the front idler out right now. We're at 200 mil, so just take it for a little test drive here. Alright guys, so it's still at 200 mil. That was just a quick test drive. They're going to give it a run, I guess on Monday. Basically, we only did the one side. And they're going to run it. They said this was kind of the worst side. The other side, the track still seems decently tight, so we'll let them play around with it. And if they still have a problem, we'll probably come back on the next weekend and do the other side. But for right now, we're going to have a look at their 290 John Deere excavator and see if we can find out why it won't start. All right, guys, this is the 290 John Deere. That will not start apparently. Let's see if we got power in the cab here. Sounds like we do. So the batteries aren't flat. That's good. Just give it a try here. Oh, the batteries are flat. So if anybody wants to know how to do that, let me just make sure that's the way you do it. Yeah, see, if you see here, it shows 1 to 6. So you don't have the service menu option. So what you do is you hold 9 here while pressing this. So hold 9, press. So it looks like we got 2 codes for the engine here. And that seems to be it right now. So we'll look those up and go from there. All right, so this could just, be something, stupid, like it's out of fuel or something. I think it's a good idea just to have a rough look around the machine. It looks like these are full of fuel. Huh, okay. It's got some oil in it there. Let's see if we can prime it. Oh, primer's got some pressure there. It's definitely, priming. We'll have a quick peek at the engine in this thing, just to say we did. Bars kind of missed. Someone's been into it anyway. From the back of the engine. What I'm actually gonna do is close this hood down here.
Place. Walk over the back here. Flip this one up. Oh yeah, it doesn't look oh, well, you can't see what I can see there. That is the high pressure fuel pump there. Let me see if I can get you guys in there better. Okay, well, looks like someone's been playing around in here, eh? What I am going to do is, if you see this coil here, I'm going to unplug it. I believe if they're unplugged, that gives max fuel. I think it's called a suction control valve for John Deere. It might be called that for a lot of things. And then if you see this guy here, that's your relief valve. So what I'll do first, we'll get our boosters on it and to get it rolling over, and so try to start it. We'll unplug that, see if it'll start. Worst comes to worst, we can always plug in to the machine and check the fuel rail pressure, which is your fuel rail here, high pressure common rail system. I believe underneath in the center there is the sensor for your common rail, or for your rail, and this line coming over here to that T, that's your relief valve for the rail. So if that was popped open, it wouldn't build pressure. So we're going to try unplugging that coil there and go from there. Okay guys, so 24 volt system. Okay guys, I just want to show you what I noticed. So I unplugged that suction control valve. If you look at the wiring here, that's stripped down to bare wire right there. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but just looking at this harness, machine's got almost 9,000 hours, and honestly I think John Deere, in my opinion, always makes the worst wiring harnesses. I'd say this is due for an engine harness, but we'll try to get it started with that unplugged. Okay guys, what I'm going to try and do here is just see if this rail relief valve is popping over. So I did crank it with the suction control valve unplugged. Now the batteries are quite low. It didn't start. I didn't see any smoke either. I think so. At this point in time, I'm gonna see what's going on here. Okay, I'm just going to like that. I'm going to stick this one like this. Reason I'm doing this is I'm going to use this camera like that you guys are watching right now to see what's going on with this, because I'm not going to be able to watch it while I'm cranking the engine over. I'm just going to kind of shoot this down, so it makes it a little bit easier to see if we got fuel pouring out of here. Oh.
You can see that rail relief was letting fuel out of it. Now, on these machines or engines, I've had similar problems before, and just let me turn my welder off here. Basically, usually you see a lot more fuel coming out of the relief when they go bad. That relief, again, should never be letting fuel out of it. It's if it hits max pressure, which, don't quote me, let's just say 25, 30,000 PSI, and it's just, pouring out of there. I should really
put my computer on it and just verify the rail pressure. Again, I don't think it's building the rail pressure. What you think it would be firing if it was. I think I'm going to do that quick before I leave, and you know, just verify that, because again, that rail relief, I believe they kind of go bad with those suction control valves. Again, it needs an engine harness. We'll see what the customer wants to do, but do a little bit more. We're going to check the rail pressure, either through the monitor or the computer, whichever one, if we can't do the monitor, and we'll go from there. Okay guys, this was the diagnostic plug here. Go grab my tools, we'll try plugging in, and I'll get you guys to watch the computer as I try turning the machine over. Well, that's a lot of codes there. It's been in D rate for a while. Fuel rail pressure, actual desired mismatch. Suction control valve has high resistance. The wiring's toast, it's active while it's unplugged. Fuel rail pressure not developed. Yeah, that's what I figured, but let's go to readings. Well, let's see that one. Fuel rail pressure, desired and actual. Invalid PSI. Huh. I don't think it's unplugged. I'm gonna go have a quick check and then we'll try rolling this over again. Okay, so the wires for the, oh, it's reading now. I was just kind of pushing and pulling on them. Again, they are, the wires are toast. It really does need an engine harness, so let's try cranking it over here, see what it reads. Okay guys, so we did try to measure the rail pressure. We weren't able to. Again, I think I'm not even going to check that harness out. I could see that the engine harness is damaged. It's really not in great shape. It does need to be changed. Again, that rail relief valve should not be popping off. It's going to need to be changed. And usually when they go bad, you have to also change the suction control valve. They kind of go, like if the suction control valve kind of messes up, it can cause the rail relief valve to pop. You got to really do them both at the same time. And I would say at this point in time, because I can't read the rail relief, like it's got 9,000 hours on it, put a new rail pressure sensor in it. Again, I'll talk to the customer about it. It's definitely not going to start the way it is, and we'll see what they want to do with it. Okay guys, I just finished giving the customer a rundown on the 290, that it needs an engine harness, a suction control valve, a rail pressure relief valve, and possibly a fuel rail pressure sensor, although I do believe the sensor may still be okay and that it's just probably a problem with the engine harness. Again, I did let him know that we may end up needing a fuel rail pressure sensor as well. But there's really not much else I can do without having those things repaired first. And again, I can't guarantee the machine's going to run after. If you remember seeing the computer there, looks like it's been in quite a few D rates. So they could have, definitely been running the machine for quite a while with issues going on, and whether that could cause damage to the high pressure fuel pump or, another component really, I'm not sure. And again, we'll have to see if they approve those parts. I'll probably end up making an estimate up and sending that to them sometime, this week coming up, between doing other stuff. So stay tuned, because we will be hopefully back to that machine and possibly back to the 750. Again, we only did the one side of the track where they want to wait, try it out like that, because they really thought that the problem was really only on that left side. So stay tuned. You might see that 750 again. You might see this 290 again. And if not, we'll be on to the next job. So don't forget to like and subscribe. And thanks for watching.